Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite Gwen Sullivan, the president of PAT, to the speaker's table. She'd like to say a few words.
Thank you. So I feel like I have my prepared remarks, and then it's really hard for me to sit and to listen not only to your comments, but to other comments that I've heard. So I feel like I come here as a bit of a truth teller, one through negotiation, since I was at every single meeting, every single sidebar, every single I was at everything. So I feel like I come as a truth teller. And with that truth teller, I do think that listening to the Benson staff and community, I am a little taken aback. I had not heard anything about getting rid of sports. And of course, at Benson, PAT, representing what is best for all kids, I'm sure you would agree that sports rolls in. Even though I'm not the biggest sports fan in the world, I recognize what that means to kids. And so I think whatever is happening there, that needs to be definitely considered in a different way, because they deserve to have sports just like everyone else. There are also some things that I feel like, as a truth teller, that we have to look at the word collaboration. And we have to define what that is, because it seems like we're saying two different things. When we talk about collaboration, it does mean coming together, coming and finding out solutions that actually make sense and you've come up with together. And you collaborate and you listen and you react. I think that's something that is possible for the future and something that did not happen in this process. Director Buell, you talked about the workload committee, and I agree with you completely. And I think, Director Morton, you said the same, how important the workload committee will be. I absolutely agree. I think it is an important component to actually address issues now. I would suggest that you would be on those committees if possible, because I think that you, as board members, being part of that and listening to what is happening is really instrumental in seeing what is happening on the ground. I have to say, I've heard things about insurance, and it's really, really hard to hear that, because we know, all of us know, that insurance, there's a crisis all over our country when it comes to what's happening with insurance and the cost of it. I would hope, though, that instead of turning it at teachers, that the teachers are the problem with their health insurance, that really you'd look at the bigger issue, that really it is the systemic issue of how all of this money goes into, that we would fight together against how the insurance companies make most of the money and not the doctors and the healthcare providers. Moving on, I have to say, as we're looking at different ways to have new discussions about some of the things in this contract and in our schools, I would repeat a question that I came to board leadership well over a year ago, asking to meet on a regular basis with board members. And so I would repeat the offer to meet on a monthly basis at a minimum. It doesn't have to be organized. It doesn't have to be agenda. It is a time to really be able to talk about what's happening. And so I repeat that offer again. Okay, so speaking of all of the things with this negotiation, I think I have been asked over and over by colleagues and the media, my friends, my family, how do you feel about this being resolved? And I would need to be honest to say it's pretty complicated. And it's a complicated thing to answer. First, I would say that I feel a tremendous sense of pride that I am proud to be a public school teacher. I am also very proud to be part of a group, a union of amazing fellow educators who work tirelessly every day on behalf of their students. I am so proud that Portland teachers, despite being vilified and blamed for problems we didn't create, remain committed to standing up for our students, our schools, and our profession. Second, I am humbled. I am humbled by the overwhelming show of support and solidarity from parents, from students, and the community. The outpouring concern and encouragement are what kept teachers going through some very difficult times and made it clear what we have been saying from the beginning, that we are all in this together. And last, I must say that I am deeply saddened. From where I sat, remember having been involved with every single meeting and every part of this, where I sat, at times this contract bargaining was ugly, it was mean-spirited, it was divisive. And what is worse, that I truly believe it never had to be this way. Contrary to popular belief, the collective bargaining process can and should be a way for two parties to come together to talk about students and the future of public schools, to problem solve and to move the ball forward for kids. There was hope from the beginning that we would bring this proposal that was centered around the schools our students deserve, and this was not a gimmick. This was not smoke and mirrors or a power grab or some ploy to get parents and the public on our side. For teachers, those weren't just words on a page. It was true that the honest reflection of what we believe for our students and what they deserve was what we need as teachers to help our kids, every single one of our kids, to have success in the classroom and in life. A board and district administration who are truly interested in learning about what is happening on the ground in our classrooms would have welcomed to have such conversation. Instead, the response we received was at best dismissive and at worst hostile. Sometimes these conversations are hard. They can get uncomfortable, and you can disagree on a solution. But the absence of these kinds of conversations were the result that would not be in the best interest of our students. I wish PPS would have treated this contract bargain as an opportunity to learn and to grow. Instead, I feel like you treated this as a zero-sum game. You could only win by teachers losing. And for us, this isn't a game. This is about our students, our lives, our profession, and our community. We weren't interested in creating a system of winners and losers with this contract. It was our goal to provide teachers with the time, the tools, and the resources they need to make things better for kids. Ultimately, I hope you understand that it's students who lose with this union-busting approach that the district has employed. So, back to the original question, how do you feel? After 10 months of being disappointed, heartbroken, and angry, I will tell you I remain hopeful. I am hopeful that you as our elected leaders understand the folly of the failed strategy that brought us only 2 days out from a strike. I am hopeful that you see us as dedicated teachers with expertise, passion, and skill, but not as adversaries. I am hopeful that you stop blaming teachers, this teacher's contract, for every federal, state, and local system failure, as well as each and every challenge facing students. I am hopeful that things will change. One thing, however, Portland teachers are more united than ever, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with this growing community of education activists and advocates by continuing to work together, teachers, parents, and students, and community members. There is no end to what we can accomplish for students and our public schools. I look forward to working with you, not against you, in the future. Thank you.